Hello, hello. We are live now, everyone. Today is welcome to our abundance reading day 128. Just one moment, while we are still going live on YouTube channel. Let me put this on our playlist of our abundance reading, 365 days. And how many of you are having this kind of a passion of daily reading for 365 days? Let me put it here. Okay, now let's get back to our Zoom. And we are continuing today, Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. This is an underground playbook for creating a mass movement of people who will pay for your advice. And actually, yesterday, yesterday yesterday was Sunday. Today is a Monday. We had a Momentum Monday, and oh my God, it's feeling like every day is now so long, right? Almost like it's yesterday. Now, Momentum Monday today, we were talking about the fear layoff and how to turn that into like understand that it's actually hiding or disguised blessing, and how you can become an expert to have your business, okay, have a mass movement of people who will pay for your advice. That's really like a total transformation from employment, from fear of layoff to really become the boss of your own and own your own expert business. And today we are on the secret 2, the course. Secret 1, we just introduced about the charismatic leader. And the second one is about the course. Let's continue, okay, on page 31. Where can they place let's say, the future-based course? And there are a few key principles that will help you create your future-based course. Number 1 is where can they place their hope and faith? Earlier today, I watched the Star Wars movie Rogue One with my kids. Early in the movie, Cassian Andor is working with Zheng also on the way to try to get a meeting with Saw Gerrera, who they thought would be the key to the rebellion. Cassian says to Zheng, "We'll give your name and hope that gets us a meeting with Saul." Hope? Zheng asks. Yeah. Cassian replies, rebellions are built on hope. Then later in the movie, when Zheng is speaking to the rebellion council, trying to get them to fight before it's too late, she says, we need to capture the Death Star plans if there's any hope of destroying it. You're asking us to invade imperial installation based on nothing but hope? They ask. Then she responds, rebellions are built on hope. Interesting, right? So just learn that, and Jane's repeating that to other people. Rebellions are built on hope. Can we see that like entrepreneurs are built on hope? Both those sayings were very moving to me. But as I thought more about that phrase, rebellions are built on hope, I realized that not only rebellions, but all mass movements are built on hope. All mass movements are built on hope. And it's essential that we create that hope in the future, because without hope, we can't have the faith necessary to move forward and change. As they say in Proverbs 29:18, where there is no vision, the people perish. That's true. The vision, the hope, is all like built for the future. Without that future vision and hope, human beings will perish, right? Or like inside, we will die. Without dream, without hope, without vision, we will definitely die. What's the difference from us to like to all these creatures, other like animals, right? If you have watched the elections over the past few decades, you will notice that the candidates who win do so because of their ability to create a vision of the future that people want the most. Create a vision of the future that people want the most. That's for the mass movement. In 1992, George Bush had a proud tradition, while Bill Clinton's was it's time to change America. A proud tradition, George Bush. In 2008, John McCain was country first, while Barack Obama's motto was change we need. In 2016, Hillary Clinton used I'm with her and stronger together. While Donald Trump said he would make America great again, right? Notice how the winners cast a compelling vision of the future, where the losers focused more on the present. Interestingly enough, as you will see in secret number 3, both these winners presented a new opportunity where the losers were offering improvement. Very interesting, okay? Very interesting. Observing those winning presidents, like they present a new opportunity, while losers were offering just improvement. Improvement is just like still based on now, based on current situation, right? Just some improvement. So people could not really feel that hope and vision and motivation. But those winners, they put some like a new opportunity, like changes, right? It's like what is different from now. Okay, as we started to build our culture with ClickFunnels, I wanted to create something that would unite all our members and give them faith and hope in their future with us. If I'm honest, I didn't know I needed this at first, and I actually stumbled upon it one day. But the minute we discovered it, it instantly cast a compelling vision of the future and enlightened our members. That's true. This is a great reminder to me because I have my community called Abundant Entrepreneurs, and my movement is called Abundance of All. So how could I really cast a compelling vision of the future and enlighten our members? We were about to launch our 3rd annual Funnel Hacking Live event, and I was trying to think of a headline for the sales page. I remember reading a story about the late Gary Halbert when I first started my business, where he said, "You are only one sales letter away from striking it rich." I know that for me, that statement created a vision that got me excited. That's right. Now I know where Russell's motto comes from. Okay, I didn't know which sales letter or product it would be for me, but I had a perfect hope that if I would just keep trying, something would work. It created faith in my mind that what I was working toward was real. And even though I failed over and over and over again, that thought kept me moving forward through the ups and downs I experienced early in my career. So now, as I can see, right, for example, you can use this sentence, as example, you're only one either sales letter or sales letter away from striking it rich, or one. I also use that for ClickFunnels, and I can use what? My focus is not just content. I know Myron Golden would be on the offer. He would say just only one offer away from rich. And Russell Brunson is one funnel away from rich. And this is a good question. I would think about what's mine. By the way, I'm wearing the mommy bear today. What's that? Mine. So I've been working with people on their vision, or on their dreams, on their vision board, on their niche, on their offer, content, brand, movement. Actually, yeah, either niche or movement that will work for my business. One niche away, or you're one movement away. I prefer to be the movement, because niche people may change, but movement is truly what aligned with your purpose, with your passion. So you're one movement away. I actually have this challenge. Now remember, I have this challenge, and I have the one movement away challenge. It's definitely a great reminder to me. I had this challenge before. So yeah, that's my habit, by the way. While I read, when I get some aha moments and good inspirations, I want just to stay with it and do some practice, relate to my business, with my work, with my life, till I get some breakthrough. Get some do exercise, right? Get some results before I move on. I hope you get this as well. As I remembered what that statement did for me all those years ago, I started with that idea and tried to figure out how to create something similar for my members. After thinking about it for a while, I eventually wrote out a headline that said, "You're just one funnel away from being rich." That's it. It's just like Russell's famous of one funnel away. But you can also see that we all get like inspirations by learning from somewhere, right? Like we're standing on a giant's shoulder so that we could look further and grow further. As I look at it, for some reason, I didn't feel it. I know that some people create sales funnels to get rich, but the majority of our members created companies and used sales funnels not just to get rich, but more importantly, to change the lives of their customers. So I went back to the drawing board. I wrote and rewrote that headline dozens of times. You're just one funnel away from quitting your job. You're just one funnel away from financial freedom. Okay, that's from, right? You're just one funnel away from growing your business to the next level. You're just one funnel away from sharing your message with more people. I love this, actually. I love this. It's just like, now this is a back end, right? Like behind the scene kind of entrepreneurship exploration experiment. The more I wrote, the more I realized that no matter what I wrote, it only would reach a percentage of my members. So I deleted the end of the sentence, hoping for some inspiration. And after sitting there for 10 or 15 minutes, I looked back up and saw something interesting. The headline read, "You're just one funnel away." That's the title. The headline is like, "You are just one funnel away." Give people the space for imagination, right? Give people the space for imagination. So you're just one funnel away. And the rest of the part that people define by themselves. That was it, because having a funnel means something different for everyone, but not quantifying it. And I left it open for their interpretation. So each person could finish the sentence for themselves. I love this idea. So, wow, it's just like, that's why I would like to say one movement away. You are just one movement away from what? That. People figure out your movement for what. Ooh, I love this. So each person could finish them for themselves. If their compelling feature was to quit their job, then that is the future I'm offering them. If their compelling feature is to share the message with my people and try to change the world, then that is the future I'm offering that person. So here, this is a great aha moment, actually. It's like you do not, for your message, you do not need to give all the details, define everything. You need to co-create, actually, with your audience. Right? You give them great inspirations, but let them to participate, engage into it as well. And this gave that kind of a space. I love it. Love this space, this kind of inspiration. So at our last Funnel Hacking Live event, I told stories that showed how this vision was true for me. I talked about each of the major failures that I had during my career and how each time I was literally saved by a funnel. Twice I've been on the brink of bankruptcy, and both times one funnel got me back to the top. Multiple times I've made poor decisions that could have and probably should have ruined me, but a funnel saved me. I shared story after story about how that was true for me, in the hope that it would give them hope of what's possible. See, it's a great title, with the space to inspire people, and then share stories. You can share story after story. This is another inspiration, right? Keep sharing the story. So you will give people the idea of what is possible. And I'll use that message in all my communication with my audience. I sign off in my videos by saying, remember, you're just one funnel away. I've added it at the end of every email I send out. It's the theme of our events. It's a constant and consistent call out to our tribe, reminding them of the vision that they have put their faith and hope into. If I put like one movement away from abundance, that's also great, right? Because abundance, even though I feel in that, but it's still like it's like a very inclusive kind of a very universal word. And that one could have enough space for people to fill in what they define or think about like abundance is, right? So let me put it here. Away from abundance. That could be, you're just one movement away from abundance. So this could be my theme words. Let's see. To create this, I want you to imagine that you are running for president and think about what the slogan would be for your campaign. What do your people really want? Where do they want to go? How can you capture that in a simple calling you could put on the campaign sign? It's very important. Like this slogan. This is a slogan and also a calling and also a campaign sign. And here, what is president's one? It's time to change America. Change we need. I'm with her. Stronger together. And make America great again. Country first. Not bad, right? All great. And it's simple, very simple, just a few sentences, a few words. Not too much over like 5 words. That will unite people together. Number 2. So we just finished number 1. About the key principles help we create a future-based course, right? One place the hope and faith. The second one is help them break their 4-minute mile. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the story of Roger Bannister, who broke the 4-minute mile on May 6, 1954. Prior to that, everyone thought it was impossible. And after Roger broke it, providing it was possible, many people since then have been able to do it. The certainty people get when they see someone else do something they thought was impossible gives them the belief they need to also achieve the same goal. Say the belief. On August 17, 2004, a similar record was shattered that gave me the belief that I needed to chase after my dreams. I had started my online business in 2002 while I was wrestling and going to school. My beautiful new bride was supporting her jobless student athlete, and I felt guilty because I wanted to help provide. But NCAA rules kept me from having a real job, so I turned to the internet with the goal to make an extra $1,000 per month. If my little business could do that, then I would feel like a success. For about 2 years, I was learning how this game was played and had a few small successes like my potato gun DVD, but nothing huge. At about that time, I heard about an online marketer named Zheng, who was about to launch a new product he had created called Traffic Secrets. Wow, that's where he got it. Traffic Secrets. So he even got this name from Zheng. I heard the rumors from friends that his goal was to make $1 million selling that course. I didn't think too much about it at the time, but I was excited to buy a copy of his new course. A few days before his launch, I went on a family trip to a lake in South Idaho called Bear Lake. Bear. When I got to that town, I realized there was no internet access anywhere on the lake, except in a small library that had a very slow dial-up modem. About halfway through our trip, I went into town and waited in line to get online so I could check my emails. What a small town. When it was my turn, I opened my email and saw an email from Zheng with a subject line that said, "We did it." I wasn't sure what he was talking about, so I opened the email and read the story that changed my life. He said that earlier that day, August 17, 2004, they had launched this new course, and in just 18 hours, they had made $1 million. Amazing. 18 hours, gosh. As I read that, everything around me slowed down to a stop. He hadn't made $1 million total selling his course. He had made $1 million in less than a day. He had broken the 4-minute mile. So that's another record in the internet business, right? Wow, this is an amazing story. I love this. So, and then let's see. As I thought more about that, I realized that my goal to make a $1,000 a month was so small. This made me feel like similarly. I feel like my target is so small. I think because I want to like become a millionaire, right, in a few years, for example. And that's like this person made it in 18 hours within 1 day. So my target is definitely small. I didn't realize that to accomplish this goal, you had to sell 1,000 copies of a 1,000 course. And suddenly it became so tangible and so real for me. 1,000 copies of a $1,000 course. It's very specific, right? Very tangible. And I realized that that is what I wanted to do. I wanted to make $1 million. It completely transformed what I thought was it was possible. And because of that, I started thinking differently and started acting differently. That's where we should go. How can we think differently and start acting differently? So thinking differently is like, this is possible. Okay, somebody else made it within 1 day, millions. And now I know they already refreshed that kind of a record. Somebody already break that kind of record. It's just like within 90 minutes, multiple meaning. They made that. Within a year of reading that email, I didn't make $1 million, but I got close. And the second year I tried it and I missed again. But within 3 years, I had made $1 million in a single year. Wow. Then a single year, right? Still. Then later I made $1 million in a month. And later we actually made $1 million in a day. There was something that I didn't think was possible. See, that's like a few years, right? It didn't make logical sense. They didn't talk about things like this when I was in school. But because John did it, I knew that I could do it. It's definitely, let me put here. And Russell Brunson even later had this book, Traffic Secrets book, the same name. So let me put down all these people's name. Roger Bannister, and the 4-minute miles. 4-minute miles. It's just like running, like, as I guess, running 1 mile within 4 minutes. Wow, that's amazing. And so that's 1954, another 50 years, 2004, right? And this person, internet business, break that 1 million. Oh, I believe that every good movement has something like this that people can aspire to. Inside of a ClickFunnels and our funnel hacker movement, we created a club. We call our 2 Comma Club. I actually joined that club before, Mastermind. It is basically a free website where people can see pictures and stories about their peers inside ClickFunnels who have created a funnel that has made at least $1 million. It's a channel, free website. I want them to see that others before them have actually broken the 4-minute mile and that they can as well. I want them to start thinking and acting differently, just like I did when I saw that Zheng could do it. You can see how we did this at www.2commaclub.com. This is great. I had a lot of resources from ClickFunnels, but this one specifically one I need double check. Or by looking at this image. I hope this link is still working. And Russell is like here with all these kind of resources. It's giving that plate, that honor, kind of award, you know, 2 Comma Club award. What is the 4-minute mile for your movement? Initially, the 4-minute mile will need to be something that you've already accomplished. So you can show them it's possible and give them hope and believe that they can do it as well. As you shift your focus to helping others accomplish the same results and breaking their 4-minute mile, you'll notice something strange will happen inside of your moment. Your focus will be taken off of your making money and into giving results to others. That's true. And for some odd reason, as soon as you make that shift in your thinking, almost instantly, you will start making more money, giving results to other people. In other words, like Tony Robbins and Oprah Winfrey said, serving, okay? Serving others. It's similar to here, like giving results to others or serving others. You focus on them instead of yourself. I'm not sure why it works that way, but it always does. It's just like God is there, right? That's like maybe this universal laws. Is like this. When you, who is that? Zig Ziglar said, right? When you help other people, like enough other people realize their wishes, get what they need, you will also get what you need, right? And as more of your members break the 4-minute mile, more people will be attracted to your movement, and it will start to grow faster than you ever thought possible, right? Once you have some successful testimonials, and things will like snowball rolling. Number 3, let them self-identify. Wow. Let me see how many this kind of principles he has. Number 3. I think that's totally number 3, right? I guess so. It looks like that way. So number 2, 4-minute mile. Number 1, have them place their hope and faith. So number 1 is about hope and faith. Number 2, so create your future-based course. Of course, hope and faith. And then it's break their 4-minute miles. This is like the stories, inspiration stories. So set up some examples. And number 3, let them self-identify. Now that you've helped people to see the vision of where you're taking them, the next goal is to get them to identify with your movement. People need to be able to identify with who they are in your group, or there will be no connection with you or the other members. The next goal is to get them to identify with your movement. When we first launched ClickFunnels, I created a webinar that I called Funnel Hacking. And during that presentation, I first taught this concept. Later, I started to watch as members of our group started to call themselves funnel hackers. Very interesting. People define themselves, they identify themselves as funnel hackers. So in my abundant entrepreneurs, I've already defined people as abundant entrepreneurs. And the movement I'm doing is what? Abundance of all. I don't know how people will further define them. So in our group, it's already called abundant entrepreneurs. I thought this was the truest thing, so I created a t-shirt with funnel hacker on the front. We then started to give this shirt to everyone who opened a ClickFunnels account. People identified with that name, and it became part of who they are. And this is like building a culture. Did you see that culture? Like first is hope and faith, and then it's like show them what is possible, and then let them self-identify. He built that kind of culture there. And I even had one person who joined ClickFunnels, got the funnel hacker t-shirt, who messaged me months later. He told me that while he had never logged into ClickFunnels, he never canceled because he loved his funnel hacker t-shirt and felt like he was part of our community. And he didn't want to miss out on being part of our tribe. How fun is that, right? See, the culture sold the product. That was when I started to realize the power of having people identify with your movement. About a year later, at our funnel hacking live event, we had ideas for 10 different t-shirts that we were going to give out to members who attended. We let our members vote on the saying that resonated with them the most. The shirt that ended up winning by a long shot simply started. I build funnels. It helped people identify who they are within our movement. When someone joins you, they need to be able to identify by saying, I am an abundant entrepreneur. Or I also can give them another level of identities, like I'm abundant store leader. That's where you eventually want to go, right? From abundant entrepreneur to abundant expert to abundant store leader. When they can do that, they have an identity shift, which is very important. They get a new identity as part of the group. They become like a new person, putting the past behind them and looking forward their new future. This is a very important reminder for me to think about how in my community I could, really strengthen that kind of identity, help people to find their identity. Brandon and Kaylin Collin from my inner circle had built a good weight loss company based around her maiden name. Their company at the time was called Time Training, and they had built up a good following of people who loved what Kaylin taught. I talked to them about this concept of getting people to self-identify with your movement, and they realized that because of how they had named their company, it was very difficult for others to buy into it. Yeah, I don't know even how to pronounce that name, right, Zheng? Because her brand was her maiden name. Her customers could never identify with it. Yeah, so that's why my brand should not just be Spring. Because if I just use Spring, people will feel like it's only your business, right? It's not mine. So that's why, by the way, I called my group as Abundant Entrepreneurs. So it's for the public, for all of you. It's not just for me. And so while they followed her as a charismatic leader, she wasn't creating a movement. There was no culture. I pointed that out at one of our meetings, and they knew that to get to the next level in their business, they would need to make a change. As they were flying home from the meeting, Helen had an idea. She thought Lady Boss weight loss. That's great, right? And then Lady Boss become popular. Lady Boss weight loss. That's what it's going to be. Then they will say, I'm a lady boss. I remember one of my programs, it's called Abundant Creators. See that identity, abundant creators. By the time they had landed, they had changed their messaging. They quickly announced the culture, and within 3 months, they saw their customer churn drop by 10%, which for them was equal to hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. On top of that, their true fans, the ones who will purchase anything and everything they produce, now identify themselves as lady bosses and continue to grow by hundreds of new people every day. Recently, I've been working on a new supplement business, and I was trying to figure out what I could put on our packaging that would get our new customers to identify with our product and movement we are starting to create. The new product is an energy supplement called Ignite. I knew it would be hard to figure out who our supplement was for because there are literally thousands of energy supplements. So I started asking myself, who is this for? Everyone? No, I needed to find my niche within the energy submarket. The problem with most energy drinks is that they are for everyone, which makes it really hard to compete. I know others target free workouts in the fitness submarket. But that's not who we were targeting either. I knew that if we were going to have success, we needed to call out our people and get them to come to us. So I started to think, who are our people? When we created the supplement, I thought it was going to be for entrepreneurs. So should we call it Ignite Energy for Entrepreneurs? But then, even that is a good name, right? But then I realized that it wasn't just entrepreneurs. In fact, everyone who was pulling all-nighters when we are trying to launch ClickFunnels was using it. So it was also for coders. And then, almost like a bolt of lightning, I had the inspiration. I remembered an old Apple commercial where Steve Jobs recited this quote. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pets in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They are not fond of rules, and they have no respect for their status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can do is ignore them because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may say them as the crazy ones, we say genius. Crazy ones or genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Love this last sentence, right? Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Okay. After finding that quote, I knew who our energy drinks was for. Now we call it Ignite, energy for those who see things differently. That's too long. If I say mistakes, it would be the change makers, right? Ignite energy for those who see things differently. People say, yes, that's me. I see things differently. I'm a rebel, an entrepreneur, a coder, someone who is trying to change the world. So that's how I create something that people can identify with. Like I love like life changers. For example, I coach my people. I call them visionary entrepreneurs, life changers. I call them into my community, abundant entrepreneurs. And I get them into my program abundant creators. Okay. To get people to identify with your movement, come up with something simple that you can put on a shirt, t-shirt your members could wear that would make them identify with your movement. Think I am a or I. Okay. So I am abundant entrepreneur, abundant creator. And he has some example. I am a funnel hacker. I'm a lady boss. I build funnels. I say things differently. I am a biohacker. What would your tribe wear proudly on the chests? Let me write mine. I am an abundant entrepreneur, or I am an abundant creator. By the way, I would love, if you're watching this movie, I would love your comments to let me know which one resonated with you, okay? I'm just curious. Eventually, the feedback should from our market, right, from you. Abundant entrepreneur, or abundant creator, or visionary entrepreneur, or life changer. Which one you think the most resonate with you? It's very interesting, right? So, and also like abundant experts or abundant thought leader. Here's abundant creator. It's like visionary. Let me put down all this, otherwise I will forget later. Make it easier and life changers. And by the way, usually I say change makers. But then I found that the people I work with, coaches, they're more life changers. And because change makers could be many, even a construction worker, right? They are also change makers. But coach, they're life changers. So that's some of my choices. Which one would you like? They do have Russell does have a like rule 4. Let me see if I have time to read all this. Maybe read a little bit more, okay? It's so interesting, right? Do you agree with that? I love this. Okay, number 4 is create your own title of liberty. Wow. This is very practical marketing secret book, okay? In ancient Americas, a military commander named Captain Maroney led an army into a war they couldn't win. Some of his troops started to lose faith in their mission, and some even left to join the enemy forces. The captain needed to do something quickly to save his army and his people. The story goes that he took his coat and tore it into a makeshift flag, and he wrote on it, "In memory of our God, our religion and freedom, and our peace, our wives and our children." Then he put that flag on the end of a pole and called it the title of liberty. Very interesting. Title of liberty. Title of liberty. In memory of our God, our religion, our freedom, our peace, our wives and our children. Title of liberty. When people saw it, they rallied around the leader, Maroney, and in a scene that I can only imagine was similar to Mel Gibson's famous freedom speech from the movie Braveheart, right? That's one of my favorites as well. They renewed their faith in the cause and went on to win the war. I love to see this, show the picture. Very simple, but like the true believers. Title of liberty, and the leaders there, and all the followers come. And true believers, okay. Your culture leads a title of liberty, something they can look at when they are feeling doubtful. A rallying call, something that will help them know who you are, remind them of who they are, and refocus them on where you are going together. Love this, my goodness. Help them know who you are, remind them of who they are, and focus them on where they're going together. It's super important in this area. I call them the title of liberty. Wow. So there are different ways to create a title of liberty for a group. Title of liberty number 1, let me see how many examples Russell has given. Love of this title 1, 2, 3. At least he gave like 3 examples. Let's see. Number 1, the mini manifesto. Oh my God, I got this. Okay. It's very interesting because I did that Abundant Entrepreneurs Manifesto. I create that already, and that's okay. That's one of my reminder. I need to definitely share that more. I need to remind all my new members and all my existing members of my community understand that manifesto, Abundant Entrepreneurs Manifesto. Okay, I got the idea for this one after I saw some of the cool things that Brandon, remember the first book? Is the Motivation Manifesto from Brendan Burchard. This year we just read that as manifesto, okay. And Colin also did that. We're doing that inside their culture. They had all their women save this as the background image on the phone. So every time they turn it on, dozens of times a day, they're reminded what it means to be a lady boss. I love this. I love this. So it's really like, make that like a screen protector background image. I actually once put that on my phone. I just need to be consistent. Okay, this is definitely a great one. See this one? See this one? From Kalen's, the lady boss. For example, like Monday, January 12th, they put the screen here. Never gives up, gives no excuses, pushes through, spreads sparkle, gets it done, takes action, is confident, loves herself, kicks butt, stays focused, is unstoppable. That defines the lady boss. Lady boss is all of those, right? Lady boss never gives up. Your lady boss is unstoppable. Love it. It didn't take long after I saw that to create a mini manifesto for my funnel hackers and get them saving it as a background on their phones. Here's what we created. This is Russell's for ClickFunnels. I am a funnel hacker. I define my own destiny. I create my own luck. I build my own empires. I change the world. I am just one funnel away. Wonderful, right? Actually, interesting. I did not see this. They definitely need to magnify this. It's just similar to my Abundant Entrepreneurs Manifesto I created, but I need to be consistent to remind my members to use that. We took the phrase we created to help them identify with our group, then plugged in our core values, say core values in your manifesto, to remind them what it means to be part of our tribe. So my task is like my challenge is to make my manifesto simpler because I put a long one. It's really like a great, I use my like incantation, like my affirmation incantation kind of a format right into that manifesto. So it's quite long. There are quite a few, I remember 4 or 5 paragraphs. And you put that into just simplify that into just one paragraph. So I put onto this. Okay, so this gives me a new challenge and a task to do. And let me quickly finish this review, okay? Title of Liberty 2, the manifesto. Do you remember? Oh, what's the difference? Okay. Title 1 is manifesto. Title 2, oh, okay. The first one is the mini manifesto, like I mentioned, put it into one mini one, and the second one is the manifesto, the longer one. Okay, I've already got the longer one, so it's much easier to get the shorter one. Do you remember the saying in Jerry Maguire where he stays up all night because he's inspired about how things should be? That's a movie, okay? And he writes a mission statement that he calls the things we think and do not say. The things we think and do not say. He talks about what's wrong in their business and how things could and should be. When I created our Funnel Hacker Manifesto, I thought through a similar process. What was wrong in our industry? What were the things I hated about business that I felt weren't right for actual customers? A lot of it had to do with venture capitalists and how they destroy entrepreneurs and the culture of those tribes. I wanted to create a divide between entrepreneurial startups and the VC-backed startups, something that my tribe would resonate with. Very interesting. Polarity, can you see that? Polarity? It's like entrepreneurial startup and VC-backed startups, totally different. It took our core values from our mini manifesto and made them bolder, something people would stand behind. We then had our members print this out and frame it next to their computers or make it their desktop background. Wonderful. So mini one is for a cell phone. And the whole longer version is for your desktop background. That way, they can never forget what we stand for. See our manifesto on page 45 here. Let me see. This is their longer one. You can see that? This one. Manifesto. Let's see. Funnel Hacker Manifesto. A funnel hacker is a new breed of entrepreneur, smarter, learner, leaner, faster, and free. Funnel hackers wage guerrilla war against the big brands and win. Funnel hackers start without a safety net. Venture capital is a four-letter word, and the bootstrap is their middle name. Funnel hackers never go public because their products serve the public, not a board of directors. Funnel hackers never ask for permission and are never shackled to investors. A funnel hacker creates values and puts ethics before conversions. If you ask the MBAs or look at your college textbooks, they'll tell you that what funnel hackers are doing is impossible. Yet it's happening every single day. Funnel hackers define their own destiny, create their own luck, build their own empires, and change the world. That's a mini part, right? Remember, funnel hackers are motivated knowing that they are just one funnel away. I am a funnel hacker. So that's a full manifesto. Interesting. Okay, now the title of Liberty 3. The title of Liberty 3. Video title sequence. Video title sequence, more advanced. All TV shows start with the title sequence that people hear over and over again. Think about the show, Friends, and almost instantly you'll be singing, I'll Be There For You by the Rembrandts. What song do you think about when I mention the show, Seinfeld or The Simpsons? These songs are burned into our minds and immediately take us back to the feelings we had associated with those shows. So video title sequence. I wanted to create something similar for the video we create for our funnel hacker community. So I created a video that become our rallying call. When my culture hears it, they are very clear on who we are, why they should be involved, and where we are going. People who resonate with it will join our course. Those who don't will be pushed away. Very interesting. I've broken down the elements. Actually, I cannot really remember this part. Okay, I've broken down the elements of my video into a script you can follow to create your own. You can see the video at www.funnelhacker.tv. I love those resources. See, here's how the script goes. Okay. So here, I definitely need to double check these two. Okay, so this is two things I need to do. It's my Abundant Entrepreneurs Manifesto, and another one is the video one. Let's see if I can do that. The title of Liberty. As a STEM. As a picture, identify the charismatic leader, and us versus them, take a stand why you're different, who you are collectively fighting against, identifying the movement. Okay, who you are. See, here the title of Liberty. He puts into this picture from, see here, identify like the charismatic leader. He said, identify, let's see, identify the movement. And then he said, us versus them, and to what? To who you are. Okay, identify the charismatic leader. Who are you? My name is Russell Brunson. Okay, so this is like a framework. Lovely. My name is Russell Brunson, and identify the movement. I'm part of a group of underground entrepreneurs you probably never heard of. Us versus them. Take a stand. Okay, so he has all this framework. Whoa, interesting. I just need to fill in this, Frank. Take it then. We don't rely on cash from venture capitalists to get started, and we don't even have goals to go public either. In fact, our motivation is the exact opposite. We have products and services and things that we know can change people's lives. And so take a stand, okay? Stand their position away from venture capitalists. And the next one is why you are different. Because we're fighting against the big brands, people with literally unlimited budgets. We have to do things differently. We have to do things smarter. We don't have financial safety nets. Every test we take is with our own money. We have to be profitable from day number one. So how do we do that? How is that even possible? The next one is who you are, who or what you are connectively fighting against. So if you ask the MBAs or look in the college textbooks, they detail you that what we are doing is impossible. Yet it's happening every single day. It's happening through the art and science that we call funnel hacking. Next one is who you are. We are funnel hackers, and these are our stories. That's the beginning, the video beginning. That's like a video clip of starting your title of liberty. This actually is wonderful. Remember all these kind of celebrities, they have the introduction beginning. And this is for community. We introduce your community. Okay, do you see how powerful that is? The video isn't long, only 1 minute and 10 seconds. I need to find this video because I forgot. Did I ever see this video? Oh, he said, see the video at the funnelhacker.tv. Gosh, I need to watch that. I believe I watched somewhere during his funnel hacking live events. I attended 4 times already, I remember. And but I could not remember that exactly, so I need to get reminded. Okay, so but it clearly defines who we are and what our course is about. People who resonate with this message are going to say heck yeah and then join us. Those who don't get it will just move on. It's natural selection for the true believers. Those are the 4 core things we use to create our future-based course. I especially love those last 2. Let me see. The last, like number 4. I need to put all this title here. Your own title of liberty is a number 4. Number 4. And number 3 is about self-identify. Number 2 is the 4-minute mile. Number 1 is open faith. Wow. Even this one chapter or this one secret, I would say, it's worth the whole, I would say a lot, much more than what the whole book is costing you, okay? In just one chapter, this is definitely gold nuggets. I would highly recommend you to have this one and to chew on it, and especially to do exercise with. So I need to do this exercise tomorrow, okay? So finally, let me see. The 4 core things we use to create our future-based course. So he summarized. Where can they place their hope and faith? Help them remember. I just want to quickly, okay, here. Remember he used what? He used that slogan, right? That kind of slogan and all those presidents way. How do you call that? Use a slogan. I can put that. Slogan and a van, right? Slogan. Or how do they call that? Other things they call like slogan or says, let's see, compelling vision. It's a vision, but especially it's like a slogan. Headline. You can also say the headline. Okay, slogan or headline. Let me put it here to remind myself. For example, you're just one movement away from abundance. That's pretty much slogan. And the second one is help them break their 4-minute miles. It's just like user inspirations, the records, and how it's possible, right? So Russell put that into 2-club.com to show them the 2 club is so totally doable in the speed. Number 3 is let them self-identify. Use that and remember is use is that what? Let me see. Like the story is like we build funnels and a lady boss. What else? How do you call this? Identity. That's an identity one. So from mine is abundant entrepreneurs. Abundant entrepreneurs. Actually, which title you like? Abundant entrepreneurs or abundant creators? I love both. I want to say, and maybe ask tomorrow my group that people vote. And the fourth thing is like create a title of liberty. And this part is especially like I've never heard about this thing, but I did know that let's say the manifesto, definitely a manifesto. Either is mini one or the longer version one, and also the video. Cool. So I remind myself. Okay, that's possible. Whew. This is like a great exercise. Okay, it will cast a vision. Is the last paragraph. Okay, promise. It will cast a vision, create a hope, and give people the faith they need to move forward and make change. Now that you've got a charismatic leader, claim that you are the charismatic leader. Okay, and a future-based course. It's time for the third piece of your vehicle for change, the new opportunity. So he's like a bridging from this secret to the next secret. So this secret is focused on the course. The previous one is focused on the charismatic leader. And so tomorrow we will go to the new opportunity one, the secret number 3. Wow, even this chapter, I need a lot of time to really like to put it into practice, right? Because I need to get those slogan. And I already got the slogan, but I need the people to vote if it resonated with them, the identity and also the title of liberty, the manifesto and the video thing. Okay. Ooh, the video part. I definitely need some video to introduce my program, or introduce me, or introduce that kind of speaking start, right? So, this is definitely a great reading. It's not very easy because you need to practice. You need to truly understand that, but definitely it's great. It's great one. It's very super practical marketing. So this is like a Russell Brunson. That's why I love Russell Brunson. He's really a great genius entrepreneur, and keep trying, keep doing, keep exploring, and now he's sharing all this golden nuggets to us through this book. I'm really truly grateful. So thank you, everyone, and comment under video wherever you get aha moment. Okay, let us do this transformative exercise together. Especially, I'm so excited about this course part, right? That's the first 2 one, charismatic leader, and the course one. The next one, new opportunity. Gosh, it's like now my brains keep spinning. That's great. That's great. I love this kind of energetic kind of inspirations. So come back. Okay, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will read more and the inspirations and how to practice. You will get all this through YouTube channel, okay, and for free. It's just like a free consultation and also coaching and mentoring. And also on our Instagram, I will go there just in a few minutes, just quickly summarize what we had here, like digest. Okay, so everyone, see you tomorrow.